Hey, what's up everyone? Destroyer here, back with another Rise of the Witch King cast of patch 2.02. This is another game I played. This will probably be going out after the other one I posted, or going to post. So, this is a 5-player free-for-all on Belfalas, as I did play a couple of Rise of the Witch King games, and I will be putting both of those up. So, we have Mordor, we have Destroyer as myself there, or myself as Mordor, whatever. Special guest as Isengard in that core area. Bad Judgment, Mordor, another Mordor player up top. As Men of the West, we have vic-chan. And then our final person in this game is the Tekker as Isengard. So, yep, 5-player free-for-all. Belfalas, which is also known as Gondor in not Rise of the Witch King, I guess. It's normally Gondor, but Belfalas, yep. Probably one of the only 5-player free-for-all maps, if not the only 5-player free-for-all map. And let's see, I'm opening with an orc pit, a couple orc pits in fact, after building a couple of slaughterhouses there. It seems special guest is opening with a clan steading, and a few furnaces there as well. Mordor is peeking around, seeing what's going on, as you usually should do when you have that power. And Bad Judgment opening with Orc Warriors as well. Orcs are pretty much the best opening in Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02. The Orc spam, which is quite different to the Corsair spam that some of you may be used to in patch 1.06. And we have Gondor soldiers being produced from vic-chan there. And the Tekker is building an Urk pit, and he has not bought any troops yet, but he does have some furnaces coming up. So yeah, not much is going on at the moment. Let's take a look at what people have bought power-wise. Special guest has gone with Creebane, or Creebine. Let's see, Tekker, this player, has gone with Vision of the Palantir. So he will be observing something. Let's see who he's actually used it on. Probably me. Yep. He's used it in my direction, as I'm the guy closest to him, I guess. Makes sense. I think I went the wrong way. Well, we have the Evil Eye, or the Eye of Sauron, as from the Mordor player there, as you might imagine. And yeah, vic-chan hasn't bought a power yet. Let's go back to observing all players. So I am capturing my inn immediately. It seems that some orcs have been sent to attack this inn here, but he will be defending it, and he will be able to produce wildmen out of it. So special guest will have 2 buildings to produce wildmen out of, which is always quite useful. And these Creebane over this, keeping these orcs very weak, like attack-wise, so they won't be able to do much damage to the structure. Ah, the men actually get Dunedain Rangers in this patch. I forgot about that. Dunedain Rangers are 400. It's a bit cheaper than Ithilien Rangers, which are 500, which are basically the same thing, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. They are identical, if not close. But yeah, very cheap, very good. And Ithilien Rangers will make a huge difference, I have no doubt. Now, wildmen have been sent into Bad Judgment's base there, and he will be doing a bit of damage, but not a whole lot because there are orc archers here. So, Bad Judgment is prepared for these wildmen. Somewhat. It seems we have a little clash here. Some men have been sent from vic-chan's lands down to destroy a little bit of the Tekker's farms. Tekker throwing up a tower here. Not a bad play, as a tower could help defend his farm, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough, as there's an overwhelming amount of troops. Possibly he should have used the money from this tower to build something else, maybe more troops. Not too sure. But it's definitely going to be hard to counter these Dunedain Rangers here, especially since all he has is infantry. Although he does have alerts now, which will make a difference, but rallying call being thrown down on these men here. And it looks like this tower is going to go down. He does have a builder in there, trying to keep him safe. And it seems I am attacking the Tekker from the side here, as he is throwing up another tower. And we do have a little fight over here as well. Special Guest trying to push back these orcs a bit with his hordes of wildmen. Also having some crossbows out. Crossbows are always a nice addition to your army. And yeah, Tekker not in a good spot here, because he's being 2v1'd a bit. Losing a furnace here, which is pretty crucial. I do have a lot of orc archers as well. Well, not a lot, but I have 2 battalions, which is enough to take down a battalion of these, apparently. When they're actually focusing. Lurt's coming back to try and save his Urk pit. The Eye of Sauron being thrown down to buff my troops. Looks like I'll probably be taking this Urk pit. And that will leave Tekker in a bad spot there. And I don't think this player's in any trouble. I think Bad Judgment will be just fine here. Mordor player. But he is losing lots of guys, and Isengard is gaining power points in the process. Now Lurt's being forced to retreat. Very, very close to death. Oh my god. He needs to run like Forrest Gump. Get out of there. And yeah, my hordes are growing pretty big now. Got a lot of orc archers. Or not orc archers, orc warriors. There is an army from the Men of the West, though, being sent through the middle, possibly towards my base. Unexpected turn of events, as he is across the map. I don't know why he would come across the map to attack me, of all people. But I guess that's happening. So he's going to begin assaulting my inn, apparently. And from the inn, I do build Easterlings with Mordor for 250, which is cheaper than normal, as they are 300. And I do have an upgraded Haradrim Palace now, so I could get Haradrim Lancers or Corsairs, I believe. Also having a Siege Works, possibly going to be getting some siege weapons at some point, or maybe some upgrades. We will see. But yeah, the men being pushed back here. Looks like I have enough guys to actually get him out of my lands. Isengard player here. Tekker buying Sharku. Not a widely used hero, but not a bad hero nonetheless. He is great for cavalry. This is this power here. Nope, not that one. Nearby ally Borgs, basically good leadership, which is amazing, as Borgs already do a lot of damage. And we do have a Gothmog out in the field now, although I don't think it's going to be for very long, as he goes down quite quickly there, leading the armies of Mordor right into some arrow towers. Unfortunate. But I'm sure it won't be the end of the world. And yeah, pushing forward here with lots of orcs trying to burst down these Creebane there. That's my archers. And Isengard down here still trying to recover. Tekker will have a few buildings left to build before he is fully operational again. But starting to get some crossbows out now. The Mordor player up here, Bad Judgment, trying to solidify his position in his base with lots of orc warriors there. Possibly preparing for an invasion of some kind. And the Men of the West here, vic-chan, has quite a base actually. He's also got a marketplace, which as you see is making all his farms glow, as it gives like 10 or 15% bonus to all farms or something, production, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's something along those lines. I can't exactly look because when I click on the thing it doesn't show me anything because it's already been purchased, unfortunately. So that's fine. Or maybe you don't purchase at all. I've never actually used one of these in patch 2.02 Rise of the Witch King. Possibly just having it out does it. Maybe you don't have to buy anything. I couldn't tell you. I'll figure that out later. I do have some Haradrim Lancers though, and I will begin harassing some farms, some furnaces, special guest space there. But he does have a Sharku as well as some Warg Riders, so he will be fending that off quite easily. And here comes an orc invasion here from the top player, chasing down Smeagol. Smeagol running desperately for his life. The ring will be claimed though. Sauron will regain the ring. It's looking like, as there's a lot of orc warriors there. Will he make it out of the base to his base though, is the question. Seems I'm just kind of getting ready for some sort of invasion or defense, as is the Isengard player here. Men managed to kill a builder there. Possibly Mordor's. It looked like that, actually. I'd say it's definitely Mordor's. And, well, deciding to turn back quite quickly. I guess he didn't want to siege a Mordor fortress. And look at this single orc warrior running with the ring. He is desperately trying to get back to home. Will he make it, though? It looks like there's not much to stop him, though, as anything that could stop him is miles away. Except for these Haradrim Lancers. Oh, will he make it? Oh, very clutch save. Making it by the skin of his teeth. As I did see him and tried to send some Haradrim Lancers to try and stop him and claim the ring for myself. Didn't manage to get it, though, as he did get in the fortress right in the nick of time. We do have a Gothmog in here. It looks like Gothmog being killed once again. Gothmog seems to die a lot, I've noticed. He's not a very tanky hero, but he's very strong. And his leadership to orcs, once he gets it, is quite good. 33% armor and damage. All orc in the area. Yeah, the Tekker just pretty much playing passive here now. Trying to recover from that pretty brutal attack earlier. And it seems Bad Judgment is in a bit of a pickle. But he does have a few barricade expansions on his fortress, so he shouldn't be dying anytime soon. I think he should have enough to stop these Mordor or these Gondor troops. Oh, but there's an Aragorn there. I didn't see that. He doesn't need to use his Blade Master. There you go. Oh man. Excuse me. Aragorn is going to be doing a lot of damage here. Oh, Morgul Sorcery actually coming up. Good timing. But I don't think it's going to be enough. And I think the ring is going to be reclaimed by Gondor. As Aragorn's going to be pretty hard to stop there. Jeez. My voice is going hoarse. Always happens. But yeah, I'm pushing forward a little bit into this player is special guest. That's right, special guest Isengard. And I am bringing a battering ram, so possibly will be taking his fort down if that doesn't get sorted and stopped immediately. His battering rams do a good amount of damage. Did Aragorn manage to take the fort? Oh, he started focusing that for some reason, but he looks like he will take the fortress, or maybe not. Oh, that sucks. Although the men have plenty of men left. He needs to get in there. He just needs to sneeze on this fortress. Please get in there. Oh, it hurts to see it so close to death. As all he really needs to do is hit it once. I'm gonna wait here until this fortress goes down. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna cry. Oh, that'll do it. A trebuchet taking that fort down. No problem. Seems the battering ram did do a bunch of damage here, as his fortress is below half health, but didn't manage to finish it off, it looks like. He does have a few arrow towers, though, as well as some wolf riders, orc riders even, defending his base, and Charku. And the ring has been reclaimed by Gondor, who has lots of Dunedain Rangers there. Ooh, he could get a run through with these orc riders. No, deciding not to do that. Possibly a mistake, as he would have done quite a bit of damage there to those Dunedain. And yep, the ring has been secured by Gondor now, or the Men of the West, if you will. And yeah, I need to keep the pressure up on a special guest, or he will try to recover and possibly counterattack me. And his fortress is pretty wounded, so, and also his barrack, his Uruk pit is quite wounded as well. It seems to be the bug where I can't actually select it. I have to drag over it, but I can't actually see it if I do that. Let's see what I'm actually getting, though. Starting to get catapults. Do I have any upgrades yet? No, not quite. But I do still have my base, which is quite nice. I also got the Fear Statue, keeping the back buildings safe somewhat. Isengard possibly preparing for an attack on the Men of the West over here. Although the Men of the West do have a few towers. That'll make things a little difficult for any attacking players. And yep, that Mordor fortress is gone, which is highly unfortunate for him. He does have a battering ram, though, and trying to get a few orc warriors together. Seems he also has some stuff in the corner here, as some warg riders are being dispatched by these orcs. Orc riders being killed by orc warriors. It's quite depressing, really. But it does happen occasionally. If they stop and fight instead of charge. Now, I do have fire arrows now on my orc warriors there, which is always nice. I probably need to get some more Easterlings. I don't have many, as he's going very heavy in the cavalry department. Not too heavy, but heavy enough. I'd say 1 battalion is heavy enough. You have Gothmog here, using his Fury. 200% damage, 25% armor. Also having a catapult in the fray as well. If he doesn't take that out, I could possibly take out either his fortress or this Urk pit. Possibly, I'd say the Urk pit needs to go first. And yeah, there you go. One shot, destroying that Urk pit. Immediately retreating my catapult to try and save it. As I do want to keep using that catapult. Yeah, without the Urk pit, he is not going to be able to produce as many men to save his base. A good tip is always to try and, instead of trying down focus down the fort, taking all his troop production structures, stops him from stopping any attacks in the future. So I mean, if he has no troops to stop your troops, he's pretty much toast anyways. So it's always a good thing to keep in mind. Taking out barracks and such as you can. But obviously you want to get the fort gone. So if you have a chance to take the fortress out, I'd say take it. As I almost have it. That fireball not quite hitting the mark. Killing a few of my orc warriors. And these Easterlings need to back up a bit as they're taking a lot of arrow damage here. But now the fort here from Isengard is going to be taking a bit of damage as well. I do have quite the army to stop anything. Putting my guys in porcupine formation here to try and stop any trample or cavalry attacks going against my catapult. Looks like he will manage to stop the catapult. Not before it does a few shots though. I need to get a few more of those, I'd imagine. Don't have any in queue at the moment. And now the men of the west are trying to engage Isengard here. He does have trebuchets, 3 of them in fact. So he will be making short work of these towers and things over here, structures. Taking that furnace out without much trouble. It looks like I'm starting to overwhelm SpecialGuest over here, as I do have a very large army. I think he's summoning wildmen in the middle of my army though. But I should be alright, I think. I do have archers. And it looks like Isengard fending off the attack from vic-chan pretty well. As he's forced to retreat with his Aragorn and his 3 trebuchets. Losing most of his Dunedin Rangers though. So nice defense by the Tekker. He kept his base quite safe. And looks like my attack has been crushed a little bit by Isengard over here. So I'm definitely going to need more troops, more catapults. Gothmog is back on the field as well. Is he level 6 yet? Level 5. He's almost level 6. Once he gets level 6, that should help immensely. As that leadership to orcs is pretty big. And we actually have ballistas coming out from Isengard. So the Tekker are trying to bring the siege to the men of the west up north. Tom Bombadil being summoned down. Possibly going to get a very epic sonic song. Yeah, doing quite a bit of damage there. Not killing a lot of them though, but pretty much wounding them to the point of near death. And yeah, I think the men of the west will be taking that battle there. Meanwhile, I am starting to go into this base here. Pushing forward on Isengard. He does have Saruman. Saruman kind of missing his wizard blast there. And me getting a bit of friendly fire with my catapult. Warg Riders charging in. I will need to stop those Warg Riders or else he will be able to kill his catapult. Which I don't want to happen. As you might imagine. I do have a second catapult though. And I think I have enough stuff in front of it to keep it alive. While they both fire onto that fort there. Saruman not quite level 2, so he doesn't have his fireball yet. And Gothmog enraged. His rage just wore off, but he did just get level 6. He does have leadership to the orcs. And that is going to make a huge difference. As long as I keep him near my army, he will be buffing them immensely. And yeah, it looks like any attack Isengard put up over here is thoroughly crushed. Yeah, it's looking like this Isengard fort is going to go down as there's nothing to stop this giant horde of orcs as well as catapults. And Saruman flees to the north, along with a builder, as he knows his time is up. Bad judgment throwing a fortress in the corner here. The Mordor player of the north, also having a very large army of orcs backed up with catapults and a battering ram. Moving into the Isengard base here. The Isengard base already falling. So, looks like both Mordor armies possibly might collide in the middle. And I think his army might be superior to mine, as mine is mainly made up of Easterlings, which are kind of a little bit weaker to Orc Warriors, although I do have the Forged Blades upgrade on them. So possibly not, as they will be doing pretty good damage. I do have catapults of my own. And looks like we will not be engaging, as he decided to go off to the southwest there. And yet the war pit going down. Lots of stuff dying there. And special guest deciding to put a Uruk pit right in front of the men in the west base. Probably not the best positioning. And he will be quickly knocked out of the game here, it looks like, as these trebuchets and this army will easily make short work of that. And special guest has been defeated. So the Isengard player over here is gone. And that frees me up to move my armies north to try and finish off Bad Judgment's base here. Although I'm pretty sure I don't know there's a fort in the back here. So possibly he could be planning a comeback. Only time will tell. He is attacking my base though. I could be in a lot of trouble. I did throw up a tower. Speaking of which, let's look at the powers. Bad Judgment has the eye only. I do have Industry, Arrow Volley, Barricade, War Chant, the Eye of Sauron, and Tame the Land. So I'm doing pretty well on the PowerPoint front. The men have Tom Bombadil, Heal and Rallying Call. And Tekker in the bottom left, Isengard, has Tame the Land and Division. But yeah, my fortress is in a bit of trouble here. I do have attack trolls on these catapults now though. But will I be able to save the fortress in time is the question. Oh, I do have Gothmog there as well. Good thing I did that, because those catapults, if they were left unchecked, I would have probably lost my fort. Possibly lost the game. Well, I don't know about losing the game, because my base is still pretty big. But yeah, I do have attack trolls out now. So I can start pumping those out at will with my level 3 troll cage. And firestones being purchased for these trebuchets, going to be proving very destructive. These pikemen all being thrown in porcupine formation to be the tankiest they can. Also hold ground stance, giving them armor buffs. And he'll just be basically tanking for these archers and these trebuchets. Should probably not be focusing alerts with these trebuchets though. The best thing would probably either be focus the troops or focus the troop production structures, as they're not going to be doing much to these heroes. You see, taking very minimal damage from those. So don't use siege weapons to focus fire heroes. It's not very effective. And as I clean up Bad Judgment's base up here, the Mordor player of the north. Ooh, that was kind of brutal. Gotta be careful with your Mordor catapults, because they will cause you a great deal of pain in friendly fire if not careful. But yeah, I know that he has something else somewhere else, because I took out his base over here. So I'm moving in this direction where I suspect he has something. I doubt I knew he had a fortress. In fact, I know I didn't think he had a fortress over there. I thought he maybe had an orc pit somewhere or something. Little do I know, he has a fort in the corner. So he will prove to be a bit tougher of a nut to crack than I would have originally anticipated. So I will begin sending my armies to the northwest, northeast I mean, as northwest is Gondor's territory. And yet no clear victor coming out of here. Galadriel possibly might be summoned, as the men of the west have been given ample time to get resources. Look at all these level 3 farms. Also with the marketplace buff. Yeah, there's no way that he is not buying Galadriel. And yeah, I have found the Mordor fortress in the corner now. Bad Judgment. His final citadel here. I do have catapults, I do have attack trolls. Well, a attack troll. And a decent sized army. But he does have the catapult expansions and the barricade expansions, as well as fire upgrade, which is pretty destructive. So I'm trying desperately to get rid of that fear statue thing. And my catapults will continue to do a lot of damage here, although I need to back them up with a bit more. because I don't have much. Looks like I do have black orcs now. The upgradable orc warriors, which are pretty tough. So late game, these are pretty good. And Gothmog and some guys trying to take out the catapults. Looks like he's doing pretty well. Or maybe it's just Gothmog. I think those guys are mine. But yeah, Gothmog making short work of those catapults. So this Mordor fortress will stand. My Gothmog taking out the builder. But I do need more guys up there if I'm going to get anywhere. Yeah, Isengard pushing forward. Looks like he managed to take out a tower. Maybe two. And he's trying desperately to push forward into this Men of the West base, but it's a bit difficult. He does have a lot of archers and a lot of trebuchets, making it very hard to get troops in there alive. So possibly, I'm not sure what you could do, really, as Isengard in this position. I guess you just have to overwhelm him somehow. Lots of wolf riders and berserkers maybe, as well as a lot of guys to kind of take the main brunt. If you can get the berserkers or wolf riders in the back, take out those catapults and archers, that would be pretty good. But it's easier said than done, as you might imagine. Now let's take a look at Isengard's economy. Actually pretty good. He has 3,000 in the bank. Vic-chan having about 3,000 as well.
Alright, you ready?
And here we go. Oh well, the ring hero has been purchased. Galadriel has been purchased from the fortress here, from the Men of the West, vic-chan. That will make things extremely difficult for me if I do actually make it to him alive. Looks like my siege on his this Mordor fortress has begun though. Arrow volley being thrown down will probably kill a few orcs. I did press X to scatter my troops there though. It's a good button to remember, as it does save a lot of lives. But I do have a lot of attack trolls and a couple catapults as well. Not a lot of attack trolls, a couple attack trolls, but that will be enough. There's no way he's going to be able to stop this. And this Mordor fortress will bite the dust. And then down it goes. Now the last building, I believe, Bad Judgment, is in this corner. And I don't think he has any builders left. So he will be dying very shortly. And now, vic-chan pushing forward with his Men of the West into Tekkr's base. Tekkr not having an answer for anything here, as his army has been decimated. And now the trebuchets, as well as Galadriel, Tom Bombadil even joining in on the beatdown. And as you see, Bad Judgment has been defeated. And I think the Tekkr is going to be joining him shortly, as there's no way he's going to be able to stop the Men of the West here. So this Isengard player will be defeated as well very soon. So we'll leave me as Mordor against the Men of the West as that guy in the top left, and he does have a Galadriel though, which will make things very difficult for me, as you might imagine. This Galadriel is very good, also having this Nature's Wrath ability, summoning a destructive tornado. It's hard not to lose many men to this ability. And yep, I think the only structure left is this fort here. So as soon as the Men of the West push down a little bit, he will find this fortress that's starting to build. Looks like I'm spying on the Men of the West base, and I will be pushing in from the east here with a pretty sizable force, actually. Having, it's like 5 catapults, 2 attack trolls, and a lot of like, looks like I have armor and weapons on my black orcs, as well as some archers with fire arrows there. So I will possibly be doing a lot of damage here. The Tekkr has been defeated, and now the Men of the West will have to retreat back to his base, as he may be in a lot of trouble here. I guess we'll see how much damage I actually managed to do here. Attack trolls going in first, doing a lot of damage to the Dunedain. Catapults focusing down the fortress, not doing a ton of damage though, as apparently this stonework is pretty effective at preventing damage to the fort. Attack troll also in here. Looks like I did send him to attack a few guys though. Buying time for my catapults. I do have a Nazgul as well. Oh, that's actually the Witch King. And I meant to say Felbeast, not Nazgul. I guess he is technically the King of Nazguls. Let me get technical. Men have rebuild. They do have rebuild. He does have Cloud Break as well, but he has used it. Getting close to the Men of the West, or the Army of the Dead, though. That could be scary. And Galadriel has finally arrived up here, so she will start making short work of these catapults. One-shotting them. I do have the Witch King on the ground now to try and counter this Galadriel. And, oh, throwing down Nature's Fury, or Nature's Wrath. I do have Barrage, though. Possibly could actually finish his fortress with Barrage, as he doesn't have rebuild anymore. It is on cooldown. So if I can do enough damage, Barrage might finish it. I guess only time will tell whether that happens or not. It could be an interesting way to finish the game, or finish off his fort, not the game itself. Witch King is still alive here, being thrown around by this giant tornado. And it looks like the fort does go down. Did I even use Barrage? No. So I do still have Barrage to use. And I think it's coming down right now. There it is. I used it to kill a builder, as I spotted that builder didn't want him rebuilding. So I felt that was a good pickup there. I think that might actually be his last builder as well. It's looking that way. And though, even though he has Galadriel, I do have a severe advantage here, as I do have a lot of map control, as well as a very large base that can just produce units non-stop, as long as my macro is good enough. And I do have the Witch King as well, which is always good. Witch King is extremely strong in pretty much every patch of Battle for Middle-earth 2 and its expansion. So he's a scary hero, no doubt. And I don't think Galadriel is enough to actually take him out. I mean, she might be one-on-one, no doubt. But he can actually mount his Fell Beast and fly away. So he shouldn't be too worried about that. And actually, no, the Men of the West do have another builder, as he is rebuilding his fortress now. So if I don't keep the pressure up, he will rebuild again. I do need to be careful with my my Witch King, though, as I don't have a lot of life there. As you see, I'm continuing to throw in the spam, trying desperately to destroy his stuff. Galadriel using her Fear ability, losing another level 3 farm, though. Pretty crucial that he doesn't lose these farms. I do need to take this inn out. I didn't even think about the inn when I was playing the game, as I tend to overlook these, but this inn is actually producing Dunedain Rangers, which is pretty bad for me, making things more difficult than it needs to be. And Trebuchet doing a lot of damage, going down though to those pikemen. And will I actually manage to take this fort down with one catapult? Probably not. Do summon a worm though, and that will begin doing a bit of damage as well. I definitely want to use this on the structure, not the guys, as the worm does pretty good building damage here. Yep. No, he's targeting the pikemen again, although doing pretty good damage in the process. Will I manage to take this building, though? Looks like yes. Actually, I did. Pretty good. Galadriel coming back, seeing there's a catapult here still. It's just been whittling away at this fort, this building. And down it goes. Looks like I have, my macro has been slipping a bit, because I was very, occupied, as it happens. If I get too into something, like over here, I will tend to forget to build troops, which is probably my biggest weakness, I feel, is my macro. But I definitely need another force to crush the rest of his base. Looks like he might be pushing out towards my base. A bold move, considering he has very few forces. Will this be the last stand of the Men of the West? It is possible. He actually has the Forged Blades upgrades and the heavy armor on his guys now. I mean, he might have already a while ago, but I'm just now noticing, because I saw him on these spearmen there. Tactical doing good damage there. As you see, as I engage him there, I am building a force up into the south. He no longer has the Ivory Tower, so he cannot see this. And he did get Army of the Dead. That being summoned down right here, actually. I thought I heard it. And that will begin mutilating my troops, causing me to flee, sending all my guys to the left, as I don't want to get hit by this tidal wave of ghost killing, ghost death. and they will dissipate pretty soon without me losing a whole lot, honestly. And I do have the Witch King over here, which will make short work of the rest of these guys, as there's nothing left here that has any ability to counter flying. And I will begin pushing forward once again to destroy the remnants of this base up here. But vic-chan putting up quite the defense. He does have Knights of Dol Amroth now. Those potentially could do some damage. Those are very strong and very quick cavalry units, as they do get basically cavalry for Rohirrim and Gondor Knights, or leadership for Rohirrim and Gondor Knights, as well as Glorious Charge, basically, from Theoden, which is interesting. Actually turning out not to be the greatest at fighting a level 3 farm, and they will be picked off pretty quickly, actually. So that's unfortunate. And I will be needing to get rid of all these farms and such on the way over here. Darkness being thrown down. That will be a bit of a pickle for him. He does have Cloud Break. He probably wants to use that immediately to get rid of this darkness, as I'm about to move into his fort with a darkness army. As you see in the mini-map, many guys coming across the map towards his base with this flickery, fiery buff, which is a cool effect. I like that effect from darkness. And there it goes, throwing down the Cloud Break. Getting rid of my darkness. Tower being crushed though, although losing an attack roll in the process. But having catapults here is going to make all the difference. Definitely need those catapults. And how good am I doing damage-wise against Galadriel? Galadriel's still alive, proving to be quite the foe. I mean, as you might imagine her to be. Throwing down Nature's Fury once again. But looks like it was kind of a waste, honestly, as there isn't really much up there, and she could have better used that over here, I think. But I mean, it will catch a few things. I did run a attack roll into it, which was kind of a mistake on my part. But this fort is taking a lot of damage. Gothmog over here, using his berserk, looks like he'll begin leading the charge on the fort, as well as the backup of these catapults. And now it's just a matter of taking out all these structures. He is being overwhelmed. Throw down an arrow volley on top of these Dunedain Rangers that have been summoned in, killing most of them. Now I do have an attack roll in the fort now. He did use Rebuild, so it's going to take a little bit longer to kill it, but it is a matter of time. Our Witch King needs to be careful there, as he is about to die. And the tornado finally dissipating. We're doing a massive amount of damage to my army. And I'm not sure I have enough guys left here to actually take him out. I definitely won't be killing Galadriel anytime soon. She's just a beast. My attack roll also dying. So I do have some Black Orcs here that possibly will take out this level 3 stables. Definitely want to get that out of the way. Stop those Knights of Dol Amroth from being produced, as well as Rohirrim if he chooses to. And once all the troop production structures are dead, he will have no resistance whatsoever, except for Galadriel, which isn't going to be enough to stop an entire Mordor army. So, yeah, they do actually take the stables. Looks like I might get this farm as well. These Black Orcs proving to be very tanky. And vic-chan actually quitting out of the game, as he knew he was pretty much doomed. It would have been a matter of time before I overwhelmed him. So yeah, well played to everyone in that game. That was one of the 2 games I played that day, and that was pretty fun. So my first free-for-all in Rise of the Witch King, and actually went pretty well, I'd say. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that game, and I will see you in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King. See you next time.